Hi, this is Lowell Joseph Gallin. I am here in Jerusalem, Israel, with our guest today, Yaakov Werker, and we are filming our Love Israel with Laura and Lowell interview series for the new Laura and Lowell show, which I established with my partner, Laura Ledbetter, in New York City a few weeks ago. And so we'd like to first of all thank Yaakov. Thank you very much for being our guest today. Yaakov Werker is a fifth generation Yerushalmi, Jerusalemite. His forefathers came to the land of promise at the beginning of the 19th century, shortly after the Napoleonic Wars. Where did they come from, Yaakov?
From Dąbrowa, Poland.
Poland.
Dąbrowa is near Krakow, 100 kilometers from Krakow.
Yaakov is a certified public accountant. He's 81 years young. As I like to say about myself, I am 56 going on 17. My father, Lieutenant Colonel Martin Gallin, will be 92 in September, meaning 92 going on 17. And Yaakov is 81 going on 17. Yaakov has many, many stories to tell. The establishment of the State of Israel is bound up with his life, and his life is bound up with the establishment of the state. And our interviews are, in this series, 10 minutes long. Yaakov, what story would you like to share with the Kinderlach, the boys and girls? Like for me, if you're under 50, you're a teenager. For Yaakov, maybe if you're under 75, you're a teenager. For the Kinderlach, the kids out there, the under 75-year-olds, what story would you like to share with them first?
First of all, about my mother. She was very religious, and she got married with my father after she changed him from being out of the Orthodox, and she brought him back. And she was very, very active in many forms, and she had 4 children that she gave everything that she can. We got whatever she would tell us, to give us. I was born in Jerusalem with a very strange about my born. On the 8th month, she was bleeding.
Your mother?
My mother.
8 months into her pregnancy with you?
Right. And then they made a discussion, 7 doctors in those days, and they decided Kaiserschnitt. How do you call it in English?
Caesarean.
Yes. My mother said, never. I will not sign for it, because you want to save me. I want to save also what is in between. Whatever it is, I want to finish my pregnancy, and I don't want you to interfere. They thought she is crazy, but she told the chief nurse, I am not crazy, I am religious, I believe in God. If God wants, we will be alive, both of us. If no, so good. Both of us will not. After 2 days, but she said to the nurse, you know, she was also a nurse. Now I'm bleeding because the child lies in such a way that he is making everything in to bleed. I don't know what, but it will change. They thought she is crazy. After 2 days, she called the nurse, put your hand on my
belly,
and she said, what happened? She said, he turned away, and now it is a regular pregnancy. They sent her home, and she got back after the 9 months exactly, and I was born.
In 1931?
In 1931.
In Jerusalem?
It was not so good to do all the Kaiserschnitt.
The Caesarean.
Yeah. But she knew because she was she believed in God from the beginning until the end. And first of all, after I told you how I came here, I want to tell you how my mother left this world. And she went to the where all the souls are in the hand of God. But she knew exactly the day when she was. She told me.
She told you in advance the day when she would leave this world?
Yes, she told me, Yaakov, now it is Erev Simchas Torah. Good that you came to visit me, because she was in oxygen. And they didn't want to see this picture. But she said, Yaakov, now you were 1 hour with me, and I am glad. But I am sure this night I will die on my bed without Neshika.
It was the Erev Simchat Torah?
Erev Simchas Torah.
What Yaakov means is Erev Simchat Torah is the eve of Simchat Torah, the rejoicing of the law. We have the 3-week festival series which begins with Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, where we celebrate the creation of the world, usually in September, sometimes in October. At the end of that 3-week period, you have the Feast of Tabernacles, Simchat Torah, and at the end of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, at the end of that 7-day period, you have Shmini Atzeret, the festival of the gathering of the fall fruits, vegetables, and then you have Simchat Torah, the rejoicing of the law. That concludes the 3-week period. And Yaakov is saying that that night, the eve of the rejoicing of the law, Simchat Torah, your mother died.
And she knew, and she told my father, don't take me to any hospital. This night, here on my bed, I will die. God loved me. I did everything good for everyone, and I had a big family. So Yaakov, take into consideration that tonight I'm living.
Did she live long enough to see the establishment of the state of Israel? When did your mother leave this world?
It was 75.
1975, so she
Yes.
lived well after
Yes.
the establishment of the state.
She was 70 years old.
70.
70.
Like King David. King David died when he was 70.
Okay, now my mother got married in a very strange situation. My father came to the family of my mother because of business. He was a big shot in the PEC, Palestine Economic Corporation, and my uncle was in Haifa the same, my father in Jerusalem, and they met in Tel Aviv, in the house of my mother, grandfather. It was full of children, 11 children. So when they met, there was a click at once. And the grandfather didn't like the connection.
Today Yaakov mentioned the click. Today we would say the chemistry was good.
Okay.
But that's what he means.
Yes.
The chemistry it clicked right away.
And then I have all letters. My father in Jerusalem, my mother in Tel Aviv. Every day a letter to her, every day a letter to him. After a few letters, the grandfather recognized what is going on, and he said, no, I don't like him. I don't like this boy. He was religious, now he is not religious. My mother said, I will make him again religious. He promised me if we will get married, he will change again.
Did he?
Yes, well, of course. And I suffered because of this. I'll tell you why, but because he was extreme.
We're going to have to conclude our first interview shortly, Yaakov, in a minute or two. But we'll be interviewing Yaakov in the future. He has many stories to tell. So if you conclude about the courtship of your father and your mother with your disapproving grandfather.
That's right, that they got married in Jerusalem without anyone from the family of my mother.
It was that bad?
She didn't want the grandfather, he recognized anything about the marriage. But they got married. You know how? My father said after the marriage, all the nails was in my skin because she was afraid that the father will come and disturb. Okay, afterwards, my grandfather was very, very satisfied with my father, and my father came back to the villages, and I was in a family that kept everything according to.
So the story the beginning had a happy ending, that your mother's father accepted his son-in-law.
Yes.
We have a similar situation in the Talmud, the story about Rabbi Akiva, who marries Rachel, and her father did not accept him at all in the end, but it wasn't in the beginning like with your father and mother. Finally, after many years, Rabbi Akiva becomes a great scholar, and his father-in-law, Rachel's father, finally does accept him. So Yaakov, we'll have to conclude now,
okay,
because we only have 10 minutes for our first interview.
This is about my family, but I want very short to mention who are my heroes.
We'll have to do that. We only have 10 minutes, so we
it is
okay, all right.
First of all, Yair Stern, the
Okay.
leader of Lehi, Shmuel Tamir, Justice Minister, he was, Shulamit Chassedelso in Ulpan Akiva. I was the secretary of Amishtar Hadash. It was a group that did many things. Afterward, in the Merkaz HaChofshi, afterward I met Yadin, and I came to the Likud with the Merkaz HaChofshi, with Shmuel Tamir, and we were close friends. And now I'm writing a book. I have to finish it. Wherever there are no men, there are many men, but no one, you will be the one.
Thank you very much, Yaakov, for our first interview, and we're looking forward to many more. And we want to thank our viewers for watching and listening.
Fine.